All right, guys, we've got a complete and total mess here, and we're working on a new pressure washing trailer. So we picked this entire trailer up with a lot of problems. It had the pump on it, the engine, water tank, had about 150 feet of hose with it that was older, kind of not the greatest quality hose. And then we went down to North Carolina and picked up a hot water pressure washer, about 200 feet of Flexzilla on the hand spool there, and then we've got an electric spool with about 200 feet of non-marking hose. And yeah, it's coming along. So we added this front cage to it. Now, one thing is, I'm not a professional welder. I'll never pretend to be, but I think we did, okay. It'll definitely hold there. But if you notice, none of this is round. And that is because water had gotten down in this tubing and expanded. This is actually square tubing. Should look like this, but water had filled these cavities. This whole setup had not been ran in about 7 to 8 years. So we're stripping it down. We're gonna paint it. The motor originally was on the front of the unit where we've got our toolbox sitting now. It was sitting across there on a aluminum plate. And then that was the heat shield. The engine sat right here, and I didn't like that configuration with the pump. I'm a big fan of not having moving or hot parts around kids. So especially if you're on a job site, working on somebody's house, kid walks up. So this is all gonna get set in with expanded metal. We cut one of the bars that was across here off, and everything will be set in here, and eventually we'll have a door or a gate on the back with expanded metal. That way we have plenty of circulation. And that big aluminum plate is just to act as a heat shield between the engine, the muffler mainly, and the tank that's gonna sit right here. So right now we're probably about $2,700 into everything. I wouldn't say that's too bad for a hot water unit. We're gonna kind of break it down a little bit more as we get into it. But since I haven't done a video in a while, I just want to get into it. Now we are getting rid of the skid plate, and the reason being is the pump itself, which is sitting over there, and I know things are a mess because I'm kind of mocking everything up, is going to sit right here. This is about 14 gauge, somewhere between 14 and 12 gauge. This is an 1/8" plate. It's not only is it welded, but it's also nut-serted together there. That'll be plenty thick, and we still have our adjustment points on the mount for our pump. And then we do have some C-channel that runs through the bottom that actually supports our engine right there on 2 points. And it also runs up under this and is welded on the bottom. So we have plenty of strength there. And yeah, so far we're making some pretty good progress on it. Doing nut certs in a lot of areas. We're gonna have our big reel up here. It'll also have some reinforcement going across. At these points, probably another piece of C-channel running under. So that's plenty strong. Because once again, this is somewhere between 14 gauge and 1/8". So it's probably strong enough, but we're gonna add a little bit more to it. And then yeah, we're gonna have racks on the side for both our surface cleaner and for our small ladder. And we picked up a little box here from Harbor Freight. We're gonna reinforce the tongue a little bit. And our water tank on this is only 100 gallons. We're gonna add probably another 25-gallon chemical tank to it. And that's gonna be it, which should support the axle. The axle is roughly rated at 2,500 pounds. Weight of the trailer with equipment is probably 1,000 pounds. So figure 100 gallons of water is about 800 pounds. Another 25 gallons of chemical. You're probably looking at about 200 pounds. We should be well within the weight rating of the axle. We don't want to get too heavy on it, but I think we'll probably be around 2,000 pounds fully loaded, which once again, should be plenty of working range for our axle. Plus, we'll probably have a couple 100 pounds on the tongue as well. So not all the way to support it by that axle. So really excited about the hot water unit. Like I said, we picked the hot water unit up with both reels and some odds and end pieces for $1,500, and that was the biggest investment. The trailer was only $1,050 is what we paid for it. And once again, that was with the engine, the fuel tank, the pump, and a bunch of other miscellaneous parts. The fuel tank did have some cracking. We had some initial problems with chemicals there, but we got it welded up. So It's always hard to weld stuff that's been soaked in fuel and oil, especially aluminum, but it'll work for now. We've got a big marine battery that we're going to put in it, and hopefully that will help as far as giving us plenty of amperage to run our hot water unit off of a 2000 watt inverter. I don't think it's going to pull that much power. It's obviously a 15 amp 120 plug that's on it, but I can't imagine it's going to take more than 5 amps. So realistically, 5 amps going through the converter, we're probably looking at, you know, maybe 600 to 700 watts of draw. We'll have to test that to confirm, but I think we'll be fine. Now, one good thing about that Kohler is it is only a CH18, so not a huge Kohler, but it does have what I believe is the 26 amp charging unit on it. It's got the voltage regulator, but even if it was just a 10 amp, it should hold up just fine. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to work. I know I haven't posted a video in a while, and this is a little bit different than what we normally do, but I'll hopefully get back to you soon. Be safe, guys.